Thank you so much. Hello, everybody, internet world, family, and friends. You're listening to New School of Music, Monk's Jazz, Austin Jazz Society Youth Jazz Project. This is our first concert of the year, and I'm so excited to be performing with these wonderful musicians. A lot of them have participated in our New School of Music Texas Jazz and Blues Camp for the past 4 or 5 years, and I'm proud to see them grow up. Many of them have gone on to college and continue in their music career, and so excited to play for you all tonight. Allow me to introduce these wonderful musicians that I'm performing with tonight. On the vocals, Margot Zell.
Hi.
All right. And on the bass, back there holding it down, Zach Walgren. All right. On the drums, Huck Langford. And on piano, Hunter Nias. And trumpet, on trumpet, Dante Koffler. Right. That last tune you just heard was a Charlie Parker composition that was entitled Billy's Bounce. And now we're going to move on and play another composition by the great Horace Silver. This is entitled Nika's Dream. We hope you enjoy.
One, two, three.
check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, check. I'm going to say a few words.
Sure.
I'm going to stand right over here. Hey guys, my name is Colin Shook. Welcome to Monk's Jazz. I'm the proprietor and operator here at Monk's. We're a pop-up jazz club that's been around for just over 4 years, doing pop-up listening room shows in different art galleries and coffee shops all over. And since June, we have been streaming out of this space. I believe this is our 61st jazz concert under the Monk's guise, and I believe this is our 29th concert as a part of the every Tuesday jazz live streaming series with the Austin Jazz Society. All of it's in support of Project Safety Net, and like I said, we've got 29 concerts here. There's so many amazing jazz musicians here in Austin, and this is really an amazing way to finish out the year with this awesome group of musicians here on stage. Give it up for Andre Hayward, give it up for all these musicians, give it up for the Austin Jazz Society, New School of Music, and the way you can best show your applause is through the chat here on YouTube or on Facebook. You know, use the clapping hands emojis, all those kinds of things. That's how you show your applause in this day and age and this format. We have a lot of cool things coming up tonight. We have some guests tuning in. My specialty is running these 4 cameras and the sound back here, so I'm listening to your comments. If you want a little more bass or a little bit more piano or anything like that, I'm all ears for comments and just trying to get this experience as intimate and high quality to y'all's living rooms and your little 4-inch screens and all those things. So we really appreciate you tuning in and joining in the process of bringing a jazz club virtual and online like this. The Project Safety Net is definitely an amazing thing. The Jazz Society started it in late March. By the first week of April, they had sent over $20,000 to a bunch of local jazz musicians in need. By April, they did the same thing, and then we started these concerts in May, and through these 29 concerts and other outside donations, they've been able to raise $96,000 that has made it directly into the pockets of Austin jazz musicians out of work. And I'm not really familiar with too many other jazz scenes that have a society that's done something like this, so big shout out to the Jazz Society for putting all their time and effort, and the board of directors and the president, volunteering all their time to make this thing happen. Monk's Jazz in its current state would not be possible without the Jazz Society. So please go to the austinjazzsociety.org and hit their PayPal button, or you can go directly to the paypal.me to support this amazing thing. All your donations are tax deductible, of course, but if you donate $100 or more, you'll be recognized as a sponsor of the series for our next show, which is January 5th with the Ryan Hagler Quartet. But thank you so much to the sponsors tonight. Joanie Arrot, Linda Ball, Dianne Donovan, Patrick Francis, Kevin Hart, Robert Linder, Jody Slagle, Feng Shui Transformations. I guess that's Feng Shui. I can't believe I just did that. Tom and Barbara Van Tassel, Allan Williams, Beth Williams, the New School of Music, and of course the Austin Jazz Society. Thank you all so much. And this is the first concert we've done in partnership with the New School of Music. And so especially in regards to the Project Safety Net and this youth jazz concert, this project is funded by the Austin Jazz Society and the New School of Music here in Austin, and in part by the Cultural Arts Division of the City of Austin Economic Development Department. Donations collected from this streaming event will be used for future Austin Jazz Society education, scholarships, and other programs. With that said, what do you guys have up next for us?
So next we're going to be playing for you guys a song called Twisted, written by Wardell Gray and made a little bit more famous by Lambert Hendrickson Ross. Annie Ross sang on this tune. It's a very fun tune, and I hope you guys like it. 1, 2, 1, 2, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. My analyst told me that I was right out of my head the way he described it. He said I'd be better dead than live. I didn't listen to his jive. I knew all along he was all wrong, and I knew that he thought I was crazy, but I'm not, oh no. My analyst told me that I was right out of my head. He said I need treatment, but I'm not that easily led. He said I was the type that is most inclined, when out of his sight, to be out of my mind. And he thought I was nuts. No more ifs or ands or buts, oh no. They say as a child I appeared a little bit wild with all my crazy ideas, but I knew what was happening, I knew I was a genius. What's so strange when you know that you're a wizard at 3? I knew that this was meant to be. Well, I heard little children were supposed to sleep tight. That's why I drank a fifth of vodka one night. My parents got frantic, didn't know what to do, but I saw some crazy scenes before I came to. Now, do you think I was crazy? I may have been only 3, but I was swinging. They all loved Edgar and Bell. They all loved Edison and also at Einstein. So why should I feel sorry if they just couldn't understand the reasoning and the logic that went on in my head? I had a brain, it was insane. Oh, how they used to laugh at me when I refused to ride on all the double-decker buses, or because there was no driver on the top.
told me that I was right out of my head, but I said, dear doctor, I think that it's you instead. He said I was the type that's unique and new, and soon I'll have the last laugh on you, 'cause instead of one head, I've got two. And you know, two heads are better than one.
All right, how about it for Margot Zell once again on the vocals? Yay! Fire emojis and all of that stuff. Dante Coughlin on the trumpet. Hunter Nias on the piano. And Zach Walgren on the bass. Once again, that was a tune that was performed by Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross entitled Twisted. And Margot has brilliantly arranged that for the group. And so we got another tune, which is going to feature the band once again. And this is a lovely standard entitled I Should Care. But before we play that, I'm going to have each one of the members of the band introduce themselves. Because once again, these are students of mine that I've had in the Texas Jazz and Blues Camp. And I really want to acknowledge them. And for them just to kind of give a brief synopsis, what do you call it? Synopsis of themselves, and tell them what they've been doing lately. All right, so we'll start with Hunter, our pianist.
Hello, my name's Hunter Nyhouse, and I'm 18, and I'm currently a freshman at Eastman School of Music. Before that, I was at Westlake High School with Maggie, and I was playing with Maggie and Zach before this. And right now, I finished my finals, and I'm enjoying some family time and playing a lot of music over break. Thanks.
My name is Dante Gavino Koffler. I am 15, and I currently attend Lhasa High School. Over break, I've been mostly producing and playing a lot of music.
Hi, my name is Margot Zell. I am a freshman at the University of Southern California's Thornton School of Music. I'm in the jazz vocal program. I just turned 18, actually a month ago, and as Hunter mentioned, I went to high school with him at Westlake High School. I'm currently working on my own music and getting ready for school for next semester.
I'm Zach Walgren. I'm 19, and I'm a sophomore at the Eastman School of Music. I went to LBJ High, and I did the Texas Jazz and Blues Camp here back in high school. And right now, I'm pretty much just practicing and hanging out. But, yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Hi, I'm Huck Langford. I'm 16, and I currently go to McCallum High School. I'm a sophomore. And right now, we're out of school, so I've just been practicing and working on my own stuff.
Yep, so that's us, and we're excited. We're going to do a ballad for you guys. As Andre mentioned, it is I Should Care. I should care. I should go around weeping. I should care. I should go without sleeping. Strangely enough, I sleep well, except for a dream or two. But then I count my sheep well. So funny how sheep can lull you to sleep. Oh, I should care. I should let it upset me. I should care, but it just doesn't get me. Maybe I won't find someone as lovely as you, but I should care, and I do. I should care. I should go around weeping. Oh, I should care. I should go without sleeping. Strangely enough, I sleep well, except for a dream or two. But then I count my sheep well. Funny how sheep, they can lull you to sleep. Oh, I should care. I should let it upset me. I should care. But it just doesn't get me. Maybe I will find someone as lovely as you, but I should care, and I do. Thank you, guys. I see all the comments. That's amazing. Very kind of you guys. Thank you for saying all those wonderful things and for all the wonderful rounds of applause.
All right. Excellent. How about it for these young talented musicians? Once again, Mark Ozell, Huck Langford, Hunter Nias, Dante Koffler, Zach Walgren. And yeah, such a pleasure to play for you all. And thank you guys for your support. Once again, I want to thank Monk's Jazz, Colin Shook, for hosting us here, and also want to thank New School of Music, giving an acknowledgement to Richard Spencer and Don Braden, Peggy Stern, Adrian Ruiz, many other faculty members, and also the Austin Jazz Society of Tom Van Tassel's viewing. Certainly want to thank him for allowing us to be here and participating in this wonderful program. We thank you for your support, and once again, if you could be so kind to support all of the mentioned organizations, we certainly appreciate that. At this time, I think we're going to feature our band once again, and this is a wonderful tune, and it's become a staple in jazz, and this is by the great Christian McBride. This is entitled "Shade of the Cedar Tree." We hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you. This is going to feature our trio. Hope you enjoy that.
One, two, three.
check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Always testing. Again, my name is Colin Shook. Welcome to Monk's Jazz. If this is your first time seeing a live stream here, please do like the Facebook page, like the Austin Jazz Society's Facebook page, the New School of Music. You can also scroll down into the description and go to the monksjazz.com and enter your email address for our newsletter. That's the best way to get notified of awesome concerts like this and beat the algorithm. You'll also find in that Facebook description a link to watch it in high definition over on YouTube. If you're here on YouTube, you're doing the right thing. You know, it's about twice the quality, twice the audio codecs, and it just really comes through nicely. You can put it on your big TV, your hi-fi sound system, and really dig into this awesome experience we have here multiple times per week. But I see all of you guys in the chat, as Margot said as well. Thank you all so much for the beautiful comments and the applause. Please do use all those fancy emojis. Try to get creative, you know. Put up the, weird ones and try to express yourself. You know, there's all kinds of different ways to express yourself through emoji sequences. But yeah, we're having fun up here. Thank you guys for tuning in. I definitely want to say thank you to the sponsors of Project Safety Net. You know, you can go to the paypal.me/Austin Jazz Society, or you can look up austinjazzsociety.org, and there's a button right there if you want to use a card, if you don't have an account there or anything like that. But $5, $10, $20 goes a long way, but $50 and $100 really as a group helps us so much. I see there's about 110, 120 people floating up and down on YouTube and about 30 to 40 people on Facebook. And if half of you guys give even $10, it'll be a really financially successful event. All of these participants and everybody gets paid, and more funds get put into the Project Safety Net pool started by the Austin Jazz Society. And it really helps to keep concerts like this coming. Thank you so much to the sponsors for tonight. Joanie Arrot, Linda Ball, Dianne Donovan, Patrick Francis, Kevin Hart, Robert Linder, Jody Slagle, Fung Shui, Transformations, Tom and Barbara Van Tassel, Allan Williams, Beth Williams, Art Klempner, the New School of Music here in Austin, and of course the Austin Jazz Society. And let's see, I'm going to shuffle some papers for a second. Let's see, from there, I think we have one more song to go, but also, there's so many elements tonight. This is a huge event. This project is funded by the Austin Jazz Society and the New School of Music, and in part by the Cultural Arts Division of the City of Austin and their Economic Development Department. Donations collected from this stream will be used for future Austin Jazz Society education sponsorships and programs like this. I think I overheard that they're going to try to do something like this quarterly, while all the different venues and music school and everything is still sort of under wraps here in Austin. So again, all those donations go to support all these beautiful things that the New School and the Austin Jazz Society are putting together. And us here at Monks are very happy to be hosting them tonight and showcasing some amazing musicians. With that said, I believe, can we get one more tune from this awesome band here? What do you guys have up for a last one? And then we're going to switch into Digital Land.
Thank you so much once again, Colin of Monk's Jazz. Let's give him a virtual hand clap for hosting us and keeping the Austin music scene alive. Certainly thank you for that. Once again, Mark Ozell on the vocals, Dante Koffler on trumpet, and Hunter Nias on the piano, Huck Langford on drums, as well as Zach Walgren on the bass. We're going to finish this set off with a composition of mine, something that I wrote back in 1992, and I presented this to the late, great Betty Carter. And his tune tonight is in the spirit of the mentorship that's happening with New School of Music, as well as Austin Jazz Society and Monk's Jazz and our Texas Jazz Blues Camp, as well as our esteemed faculty. And this is something that I presented to Betty Carter some years ago, and she fell in love with. And I'm so blessed that it's become a kind of a staple on the jazz scene with other musicians. This is entitled Dre's Blues. We hope you enjoy. All right, thank you so much. How about it for our Youth Jazz Project combo? Once again, Margot Zell, Hunter Nias, Zach Walgren on the bass, Huck Langford on the drums, and Dante Koffler on trumpet. Yours truly, Andre Hayward. It's been such a pleasure performing for you guys. We're going to segue into our next segment. This is going to be our Q&A section where we have esteemed faculty who are performing, Don Braden and Dave Stryker. And we also have Murali Coryell. So great to see him on guitar. And we have a special guest, Mr. Christian McBride, that's going to be joining us pretty soon, and very excited about that. Thank you so much once again. And this is the last chance to support Monks Jazz, support New School of Music, as well as Austin Jazz Society. All of those links are, donation links are available in the description of this event page. But you also have the names as well if you want to go to each one of those specific websites and donate. We certainly appreciate you. Want to thank Colin Shook once again for hosting us. He's a blessing and a gem to the city. We thank you so much. All right.
Thanks, man. All right. Welcome, everyone, to my the backside here of the studio behind the mix desk. Wow, wasn't that amazing? I mean, give it up for these guys. Thank you so much to Andre, Dante, Huck, Zach, and Margot. What a great band this is. You know, we really hope you enjoyed the performance as much as we all did. We also want to thank the members and the donors to the Austin Jazz Society, the New School of Music, and the City of Austin Cultural Arts Grant, which in part made this whole thing possible. And now with the power and magic of technology, we are connecting Don Braden and some of his friends from the East Coast to carry on performances and discussion on why they love to play and teach jazz. Don is a world-class jazz musician and educator. In addition to decades of giving master classes, he is the director of the Litchfield Jazz Camp, the New Jersey Performing Arts Center's Wells Fargo Jazz for Teens Festival, the Harvard Jazz Combo Initiative, and the Texas Jazz and Blues Camp. Please welcome Don Braden here. How's it going, man? Let's see. Do this. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Oh, am I muted? No, I'm.
I had y'all muted, so I just brought y'all back.
Okay. Am I here?
You're here.
Hello. You got me?
Yes, I think I'm echoing
Yes.
here. Okay, I'm going to hand it over to you, Don. Welcome.
Make sure the echo's clear. I'm going to switch over to the camera, and we're going to go do some playing, if you hear me okay.
Yes, indeed.
All right. I got my great friend Dave Stryker here in the studio with me. We're going to play a couple tunes and talk a little bit. And then we'll switch over to Murali Coryell and Christian McBride, all my friends and colleagues for many years. I'm honored to be here. I loved the students. You guys were great. So thank you. I enjoyed the whole time listening to the groove and the creativity. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. And as my colleagues like to say, the future of jazz is in great hands with you guys and your fellow young students who are serious. Appreciate you. So thank you for that. Colin, again, thank you so much for all of your technical efforts, keeping everything running smoothly here. Okay, we're going to go on and get right into some music. So I'm going to switch over to the other camera, and my friend Dave Stryker is on the other side. We'll start. I'll jump on in. We're going to play There Is No Greater Love, and then we'll talk a bit, and then we'll play a little bit more. All right, I'm switching. Here we go. Go for it, Dave. Set it up. Keep going. Dave Stryker.
That was fun, Don. As always.
As always.
Yeah.
Man, how long have we known each other? It's been a minute or two. Or three,
It has.
four.
You know, I think when I first came to town in the early 80s, I remember the first time we played together was at a place called Far and Away. I have no idea where that was, but it was
in Jersey.
We
right?
did a gig with Dr. Lonnie Smith. I
Yeah.
think he was just Lonnie Smith back then.
Oh, right.
And I think I have a cassette of that somewhere in a box of cassettes somewhere. But anyway, it was I think it was it. Yeah. So
I think you can find that cassette, my brother.
Yeah.
You can find that cassette. That's
Yeah.
cool. You have your switch on, right?
I do.
Great.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So thank you for that reminder. I didn't remember that.
Yeah, I think that was it though. That was
Yeah,
so
man.
we're going back
That's the 80s. That's a couple of years or two.
couple of decades for sure. Yeah.
So let's talk about first why we love this music. Now, obviously, we had fun. I mean, it was apparent to me we were just playing. We had, we talked about the tune, but we did. Boy, I didn't.
I think the
expect-
rehearsal really paid off.
all that detail rehearsal.
You can't see us smiling with these masks on. Paint a smiley face on.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's one of the beautiful things about this music we love so much. I think is that you learn the music, you learn the songs, you learn the chords, you learn the notes that work with the chords. You listen to the masters, but it's always different. So we speak the same language, and you can go anywhere in the world, and we've been lucky to do that.
Yes, sir.
remember going to Japan many years ago, back in the 80s, and even though we couldn't communicate on sometimes in English, I couldn't speak Japanese, but you could play. Bang! You're
boom.
off.
Cats are in.
You're
Right.
in. So that's what's great about this music. We can communicate and have fun with it, and it can go in so many different directions. That's what makes it really fun and exciting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could actually maybe another time we have more time. We should do this tune again, and just do it a totally different way, and it would be totally different.
Yeah.
Choose a tempo, and then just a different, maybe another key, maybe, and just different things would happen. That's the beautiful thing about this music as well.
I would still play the same solo.
Well, that's the one. You mean the one I wrote for you? You mean that one? Yeah, that one. Yeah. Well, when I write such good solos, what can you do, brother?
No, just kidding. No, that's what. Yeah, it's never the same once.
That's never the same once.
Yeah.
Good way to put it.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, tell me about teaching. So you do a lot of teaching, and we taught together in a few situations, and you've done a ton on your own. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, I actually was started out in this music. I was lucky. I got to play with some of the masters, guys like Jack McDuff. Hired me early on, and worked with him for a couple of years. And
Captain.
Captain Jack. He had guys like Grant Green, George Benson, Pat Martino in the band, and so it was a hot seat, you might say, for a guitar player. Right. But it was a wonderful experience, and I'm so grateful I got to do that. Joe Dukes was the drummer at the time.
I remember. I played with that band a few times.
Yeah,
man.
And then after that, I got to work with Stanley Turrentine for like 10 years, and that was also an incredible experience. And so I feel, I learned a lot, from being on the road and playing with the masters, and also from listening to the music and listening to records. That's how I learned how to play, and I still think that's the way to learn this. The language of jazz. We have to listen to it. We have to love it. And I think it's really important to listen to a few things a little instead of a lot of things. A few things a lot instead of a lot of things a little.
Really go deep into what you're listening to.
Take one thing. Like I got into Wes Montgomery early on, and that record, "Smoking at the Half Note." That's all I listened to. And this pretty soon you start to it absorbs into your vocabulary, and so that's kind of how I learned. But then I started doing these camps, and I think we met at a Ebersol workshop where I had actually gone as a student.
I did
17 years old. But
me too.
Right, David Baker, met him down there, and Rufus Reed, and was in Joe Henderson was my combo leader.
I know, you told the story.
Crazy. So
incredible.
And then later on, Jamie hired me to be a teacher at the camps, and I started doing camps with you at Litchfield, great workshop here in
in Connecticut, in Northeast, Litchfield Jazz Camp.
So that's been a great experience, and so I'd usually do that in the summers, and then I've through the people I've met, and I've become teach at like 3 universities at this time. So I teach at Indiana University, and I teach at Montclair State, and now I teach at Rutgers.
Yep, got it.
And right now we're teaching pretty much on Zoom.
Yep, of course.
Until this better days are coming up.
Yep,
better days ahead for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man, I'm very proud to always enjoy to play with you. Always, of course, we always have a ball playing together. We've done lots of different things together. It's always great to have you at Litchfield. You bring a magic on the playing side, on the teaching side. For sure, no nonsense, straight ahead, clear, crystal clear guy, and you play, the 2-word definition of leadership. Follow me, like you really lead from the front, and I appreciate that on the teaching side of it.
Well, thanks, Don. Well, and I could say the same exact thing about you. You're one of the greats. So
something I've worked on for a long time, something I love dearly. Teaching is one of the best. And you talked about Jack McDuff. I mean, all the masters we've played with were always teachers,
right?
Not necessarily in the classroom per se, but I was Betty Carter, Winton, Marcellus, Freddie Hubbard, Roy Haynes, all these players, all the Stanley Turntine.
Anybody good or
no one could play, unfortunately, except for those. But no, we had serious, lessons all the time.
And I feel now that some of the masters have passed on, most of them, in fact. It's important for us that did get to have that experience to pass it on.
Correct.
And that's why I enjoy teaching.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love that.
Keep the music going.
Yep. So I want to acknowledge a couple things. We'll play one more quick tune, and then we'll move on to my good friend Murali Coryell, who'll be coming up soon. First off, I can go look at the camera here. So a couple things. First off, the Litchfield Jazz Camp is one of the inspirations and partners for the Austin Jazz and Blues Camp, or the Texas Jazz and Blues Camp, I should say. And I've been working at Litchfield for 23 years or so, and I've had the honor of working also there for that long. And love that. Keep the music going. 5 years. Yeah. So I want to acknowledge a couple things. We'll play one more quick tune, and then we'll move on to my good friend Murali Coryell. And Murali Coryell is with us, and many players. So I want to acknowledge that. I want to talk a little bit about our sponsors. This project is funded by the Austin Jazz Society, who's awesome. Thank you guys for so much what you guys do. And the New School of Music, Austin, in part by the Cultural Arts Division in the City of Austin Economic Development Department. That's important. Donations collected for this streaming event will be used for future Austin Jazz Society educational scholarships and/or programs. So thank you if you are able to give something to the Austin Jazz Society. That's great. We really greatly appreciate it. One more thing I'd like to say is that this summer we're going to do some version, we hope, of the Texas Jazz and Blues Camp. So please watch our website for that. It'll be in the links. I think it's newschoolofmusic.com or newschoolofmusic.net. Newschoolofmusic.net is the website for the parent organization of the Texas Jazz and Blues Camp. You found the information there, just Google. That's what I do for everything, pretty much, instead of using full URLs. That's it for the business, I believe. Oh, one more thing to say about the Texas Jazz and Blues Camp and the Litchfield Jazz Camp. They're really fun, like really fun. We come and we teach you a lot. We learn a lot ourselves. We play and we just immerse ourselves in this incredible music of jazz, which is just the best, man. We are the luckiest. Me and Dave and so many of us who play, in terms of participating in something that's really got all the intellectual, mental, soulful, stimulation, interaction, inspiration, creative, everything you want in a human activity. If you're a music type and want to get deeper into it, Texas Jazz and Blues Camp, Litchfield Jazz Camp, or any situation where you might find Dave Stryker or maybe myself or any of our incredible faculty, check out the website. We have great people on both teaching organizations, and we love to share the information. So we have a lot more to say about that. So maybe later I'll try to get another word in about that. For now, we'll play one more brief tune, and then we'll introduce Murali. So, Dave, set it up.
All right. I'd also like to just shout out to Murali because thank you for your father, who was a huge inspiration to me, Larry Coryell. One of the first guys I ever saw, I remember seeing on black and white TV, playing this at a jazz festival somewhere with this giant L5, and it looked like I never saw anything like that before. Of course, I was a rocker, and became a big fan of his and actually became friends. So shout out to you, Murali. Keep it going, man.
Set it up, brother. Stryker, my man.
Great.
All right, I'm gonna hold my mask. Well, I think I can speak this briefly without it, just real quickly. Thank you, Dave, for everything. Love you, man. Great player, great friend, and great teacher. Appreciate you, man. Mucho.
Thank you.
All right. So I believe Colin, who's our technical master and maestro, is going to play a video right now. So take it away, Colin.
Right on. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Don Braden, music director of the Texas Jazz and Blues Camp. I'd like to tell you a little bit about our partnership between the New School of Music here in Austin and the Litchfield Jazz Camp, which is in Connecticut. I've had the pleasure and honor of running the Litchfield Jazz Camp as music director for over 20 years. At Litchfield, we teach the students how to play jazz. We also teach them how to work together, how to become better people. We're really about that. That's really our focus. Jazz is a great model for teamwork, leadership, creativity, improvisation, and we pride ourselves on highlighting those life skills that go with the music in addition to actually becoming better at the technique of the music. Here in Texas, we add the extra element of the blues, and we show how much fun that is and the relationship between blues and jazz. The program is non-competitive, which means you can come in at your level and learn at your pace. And we'll match you with students at your level in theory classes, technique classes, and in combo classes. Very fulfilling experience and no pressure, or minimal pressure. We just have fun. The students are ranging in age from 10 years old to 100 and beyond if we get them. We're welcoming everybody here. We do want you to have some experience on your instrument, and most of the students are middle school or high school age. For more information, please visit us at texasjazzandbluescamp.com. This project is sponsored in part by the Cultural Arts Division of the City of Austin Economic Development Department. Thank you.
All right, we're back. Welcome, Murali, and you're back on, Don.
Hello. Can you hear me?
We don't have sound, a mic on you, Don, I don't believe.
I'm muted. Sorry, I muted it so it wouldn't bleed in. Sorry.
Perfect. All right, I'll hand it off to you guys.
Sometimes I think I'm so smart that I'm stupid, you know? Too much slick stuff. Murali Coryell, what's up, man?
Are we here? Are we live?
We're here, brother.
Oh, yeah.
We're here.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
So, thank you for being a part of this. Dave Stryker shouts out to you. He's just backing up in the corner. He's distant enough that I can take my mask off, so facing the other way. We got air filters running, so we're safe. You'll see him sneak out the back door there in a second. But I'll put you guys in touch at some point because he's a big fan of your dad, as was I, as you know. But
I heard. No, I've been watching the whole program. I'm so proud and so inspired, and it's just like this is how my dad lives on through the music that he did and the people that he touched, and just from the very beginning, from note one, the way that everybody's organized. Hey, man.
What's up, man?
Oh,
good to meet you, Murali.
You guys.
Hope we get to play one of these days.
Well, yes. I mean, this is what it's all about, isn't it? This is like at this moment when we start talking about music and playing music, I forget about everything, all the problems. I forget about all the problems and just talk about things, happy things, and we love. And I'm so proud of this whole organization and all the hard work and dedication. And you can tell, you could feel the love, like you could taste the love in the cooking. You can feel the love in the music. Yes. Yeah.
Well, so which gets to, kind of our overall question, why we love playing and teaching jazz. Love, man, you talked about it in every aspect of what we do. There's a love thing going on. Talk a little bit about that, and maybe you as a player, some of the things, just what you love about it.
Wow. I mean, well, one thing you said is music. It's not competitive. It's an encouraging thing. We're all there to lift each other up. When people play together, they're not trying to beat each other. They're trying to be better together.
Absolutely.
And like you and I have said, when you put the right ingredients together, you don't just get 1 + 1 = 2. It becomes more than that. And it really helps bring out, the best in us, musically and personality, because I'm also of the opinion, I mean, this is just me, but, for me, I want to be a good person. I want to feel good. I want my intentions to be good and my intentions to be real and to be honest and try to play that way. And it's very hard because when I see so many people that are so good, and then you say, oh, I want to do that, or I wish I could do that. And it's all inspiring. And at the same time, trying to reground myself, and then just remember, like, you're okay. And you can, like, you just be you kind of thing, because the world of music, it never ends. And the reason why we play and teach the same songs and the same things, it's the same reason we read the same classic books and listen. There is something fulfilling in it, on so many levels. Artistically, emotionally, physically. Yeah. I mean, I just think about what kind of world would it be without music. There's been a couple of societies, or back then, people used to fight over, you can't play this note or you can't play that note. You get in trouble. Thank goodness we don't have that anymore. And just the influence of music is freedom. I mean, I'm a student of a lot of different things, and like Russia, for example, they used to talk about the jazz age and how when jazz came in. And when I went to Russia with Bill Evans, one of the guys said, when you let jazz into our country, you let freedom into our country. Right. Yeah. Exactly. So, it's really deep. It's really deep. And yes, I'm just so glad, proud to be able to partake in it and to, as a listener and as a musician, because we all need each other. It's like it's like an ecosystem, that we all really depend upon each other, and that's just the musical part. Right. Right. Yeah, man. Well, listen, speaking of the musical part, why don't you play something, man? I would love to. Thank you. And so it's only going to get a lot louder. It's going to get a lot louder in here. It's going to get louder. It's going to get louder.
Do your thing. Okay. Colin's got the sound. He's got it.
Okay, not too loud, but it's going to get louder because I'm going to be on the mic.
Do your thing.
And pick up the guitar.
All right.
And I'm gonna hope that it's all good. We did a nice sound check earlier. I want to thank Ronnie for her technical help earlier, but I do want to do a little blues right here and pick a song that I wrote, and it's called Sugar Lips, Honey Hips. And I want to try to get the feeling, if you know what I mean. Oh, yeah. It's moving on me, but that's all right. It's all right if it moves, because I'm going to move it back, y'all, and get right into it. I got money, she spends it all the time. She got something, she's ready to get somebody. Just like jelly, no, she's sweet and sweet. And I could let it get so over me. Sugar lips, honey hips for days. She make me feel in 100 wicked ways. Sugar lips, honey hips, sugar lips, I hear a buzzing goes above my head. Baby, she lay across my bed. I'm good at slamming against the window pane. Oh, I can show them like that candy cane. Sugar lips, honey hips and veins. Make me flip in 100 wicked ways. Sugar lips, honey hips, sugar lips, oh, hey. I am sugar, sugar in a bowl. Sugar, way out in her soul. So much money in her honey pie. Sweet baby, give me one last try. Sugar lips, honey hands for days. She make me flip in 100 wicked ways. Sugar lips, honey hips, sugar lips, honey. Well, there's one for you. I hope that came out all right.
Yeah, man.
Is the balance okay? You hear the
The guitar is a touch loud. Was pretty a
Right.
little louder than the voice in this particular case. So
Good. I'm gonna
if
fix
you have
it.
time to do one more, we'll have you turn the guitar down a bit
Yeah.
or the voice up a bit.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I prefer to turn down rather than have to turn up.
Yeah, that would be better. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit about your teaching, just a little bit about your teaching philosophy and what you love about teaching, and then let's hear one more, Shorty, and then we'll
Sure.
move on to Christian.
Okay. So let's see. Teaching. Well, the thing about teaching is that I'm always learning.
Yes.
And one of the things that I like to do, I have had private students, and one of the things that I really like is sometimes they just go, well, what do you want to do? You know, or what do you
Yeah.
think I should do?
Yeah.
And really, in almost a selfish way, I'll be like, okay, well, I've got to learn this song for Don Braden. Let's work on this tune, you know? But it's
Right.
real. It's actually a real lesson. It's like, and like they're always into it, you know,
Wow.
because here's the thing is being inspired, you know,
Yeah.
like, you know, many people have had the experience of taking music lessons and finding them boring, you know, like,
course.
when can I get to the good part, you know?
Of course. Of
You know,
course.
the practicing and all the things. And then so if you can make it inspiring, you know, that's the thing. It's a motivational thing. It's with anything. If you can find a way also to teach yourself. Once I first learned, you know, the basic chords and scales, and they said, okay, now you can, this will take you your whole lifetime to work on this. But once I learned certain things on how to teach myself, you know, and then explaining to other people, you know, you can teach yourself too, you know.
Well, that's the key. That's really the key to teaching, right there. That's my core philosophy of teaching is teach a student to teach themselves, because that's in the end, that's really where the buck stops.
Well, there you go. And so what I really like is when I hear us talk about stuff and I hear us play stuff, we're playing what we're talking about.
Right.
You know, it's like we are actually,
Absolutely.
and that's important to me, is to, you know, practice what you teach, you know.
Exactly.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. Same thing Dave and I were talking about, you know, lead from the front, man. That's really how the cats taught us.
Yes.
We learned, and you too, everyone you've worked with, man, you've been around a lot of cats. Do a quick laundry list of some of the cats you've been around, even if you didn't necessarily play with them. Oh, your video just went away.
Okay. Oh, hold on. We get my battery going down there.
Okay.
Are we back?
Oh, we're back. We're wrapping up pretty quick.
I will ask.
Cats who influenced you, who you were around. You were around a lot of cats because your dad had a ton of cats.
When I was a child, when I was an infant, I was held by Jimi Hendrix in his arms, because him and my dad used to play together, and so there's a song I wrote called "I Was in the Room with Jimmy," and it's a true story, and that's you know, one of the songs that people, once they know the story behind it, they say, "Oh wow, that's pretty cool." Yeah. And we lived with Carlos Santana when I was 1 year old in San Francisco. Wow. And then we lived with Jack Bruce of Cream in Scotland when I was about 4. And then the first real memories I have was later on. And I remember Miles Davis. He had quite an impact, because my father my father was playing with Miles, and this was in the mid 70s, and Miles would be at our house often. And then there would also be Bernard Purdy and Randy Brecker and Michael Brecker and Alphonse Mouzon, all kinds of people. And then eventually what's amazing is I got to play with many of these people. But just being around them was an amazing experience. You know, it's like the closer you get to the people, the closer you get to the music. Yeah. And they were just always so, it was like a family thing. It's like they encouraged me. They were always so encouraging. Yeah. And it's like, I didn't really understand, because I didn't think I was going to necessarily become a musician. I thought that was just for the grown-ups and these giants, you know? Right. But eventually the bug, it's in you. If the music's in you, you got to do it. I mean, doesn't mean you have to do it professionally, because that's a whole other thing, but it's just, you know, you can't, we can't deny our essential selves. It's part of who a lot of us are. So, and then playing with people like Buddy Guy, and opening up for B.B. King a lot, and playing with my father, Larry Coryell, and Joe Louis Walker, and Duke Robillard, and Bill Evans, Levon Helm, Robin Ford. I mean, there's so many. Pine Top Perkins. I mean, nowadays I think about all the things that I've done and all the places I've gone, because you can't do all those things right now. So all those things I did, I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful for the ability that we can still tell stories and do some music, even though it's in a little bit different setting. It is, you know, it's just nice to be able to still participate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, in this case, we have the Austin Jazz Society to thank, not to mention the New School of Music and the City of Austin, all of whom have been greatly helpful. Listen, Murali, of course, we already know you and I can talk for hours, as we have every time. This time we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I would like you to play something brief one more time, just a little shorty of something or other.
I'll play something pretty quick here. I'll do my best. Okay. Even if I have to cut a verse out or something. So I'll try to get the thing here to balance a little bit. This is a ballad, so it's called Restless Mind.
Okay, cool.
I got a restless mind, and I can't be satisfied. I wake up early in the morning, I'll haunt it all through the night. I try to drown my troubles in whiskey, beer, red wine. I've got a restless mind, and I can't be satisfied. I keep wondering, did you mean just what you say when you told me, baby, You have to have things your way. It's not working for me. I feel I'll never be free till I can be just who I am. I've got a restless mind, can't be satisfied. Can't you try to understand? I've got a restless mind, I can't be satisfied. You could ease my burdens if you just didn't have to try. My stomach's in knots from taking all that you got. My blood pressure's on the rise. I got a restless mind and I can't be satisfied. I've got a restless mind and I can't be satisfied. Oh, no, I've got a restless mind and I can't be satisfied.
Murali Coryell, man, my brother. That's great. I love that. It's your tune?
Sir. Yes.
Yeah, man. Love it.
Thank you. Thank
Love
you.
it.
Well,
Love it.
you know what? It's funny. It takes sometimes a second take. It's like almost like the Zoom, the live thing. You know, the live TV. Sometimes we have to make adjustments. So I always feel better knowing when the balance is right, and it helps to represent it better. So I'm glad we got it. You know, show the difference. First one, this is a little balance is off. This one is right. So.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
It's all
Thanks
teachable
again.
moments.
Yeah, of course. Always. We're all learning all the time with this.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, man. Thank you again for everything. Always a pleasure to see you. Always a pleasure to speak with you and listen to you. To be
Happy New
continued.
Year. I love you all, man. I love the Texas Jazz and Blues Camp, Litchfield, Jazz Camp, Music Camp. Everything you're doing, it's like a nation, this incredible strength of love of music. And I do want to invite anybody that wants to reach out to me personally. You can find me on the social media and my website, MuraliCoryell.com. And I do teaching, and I just love to share music and connect with people who are like-minded.
There we go. Straight ahead, brother. All right.
Yes.
Be well. We'll be in touch.
Thank you, man. Happy New Year.
All right. All right. Thanks, Mark.
Hi, Christian McBride for me.
Christian McBride's right here. Christian,
Hey, Christian.
my brother. My other brother.
Yeah. No, I'm honored, man.
I got all my friends here, man.
In the same Zoom with you.
Yeah.
What's going on, gentlemen?
Christian McBride, what's up, man? Too
Man,
long.
Don Braden, you know what you mean to me, man. Every time I see you, I feel like I go back to age 18 for a few minutes.
Of course. You'll be 18 to me forever, my brother.
Excuse my COVID stubble here.
Oh yeah. Don't trust me. We all know. I went ahead and knocked mine off quick before I because I'm the host. So I'm not allowed to stubble when I'm the host. Yeah, man.
You're looking and sounding wonderful as always, my man.
Thanks,
it's great
man.
to hear you in the Golden Stryker.
Yeah, man. That's right. Yeah, he's killing it as usual, and it's always fun to play with him. And I love playing, of course, and that interaction. We know what that is like.
Absolutely.
Like we say, put the energies together, and we get blossom of creativity, which is
that's right.
Just such a joy, man. So we go way back. We go back. We go back not quite as far as Dave and I go back. We go back pretty far though, because we go back at least to Freddie Hubbard. But
we met 31 years ago.
Oh, that's pretty far back. Wow, has it been that long?
1989, bro.
Sure it is. Absolutely,
That's
sure
right.
it is. That's right.
That's the
1989, yeah.
I moved to town.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because we were in Hubb's band. We were in Freddie Hubbard's band for about a year and a half.
That's right. Yeah,
together.
And then I was very it's a thrill for me to go back and listen to those first 3 Crisscross records you did, man.
Yeah, man.
Fun records.
Thanks, man. You sound amazing on them, and all that whole cast, all those musicians. Well, basically, it was a Freddie Hubbard band. Less Freddie Hubbard. The first two
Right.
were the same band. It was
That's
Benny
right.
Green, Carl Allen, you, and myself. And then the only difference was no Hub, so we had Tom
right.
Merrill for those first two records.
Then the Benny Green
Future Ray.
trio grew out of Freddie's band as well.
That's right. Sure
we got 3 bands out. We got like 3 bands out of one.
That's right. We sure did. We
That's
sure
right.
did. Yeah, man. It's fantastic. I love it. So, man, you've done. Of course, to say I'm proud of you is kind of a almost bizarre in a way because we have so much history. We're almost peers, but I am a bit older than you, a little bit anyway. So just watching you, man, and the incredible things you've been able to do, both musically, career-wise, and then business-wise. You've done so many things. So, with our overall theme, I'd like to. You got your bass handy? You can play something.
I do, absolutely.
Okay, great. So let's do this.
We have about. When you want me to play, and I'll be there.
Yeah. So we have about a half an hour, give or take, and I want to allow some time at the end for the kids to ask questions. We
Okay.
have students standing by in the club. And I know they got a few questions for you for sure. So go ahead and talk a little bit just about. They know a lot about you already, let's say, and they can look up certain things. But talk a little bit about your philosophy. Like what kind of inspired you? What kind of drives you in terms of your creativity, your musicality, like the passion? Like what are some of the elements of that you can talk about?
Don, when I was in high school and I'm listening to all of these records, not only by the legends like Miles and Train and Duke and all of these people, but I was also listening to the first era of Young Lions. So I was, Wynton's records, Branford's records, Terrence Blanchard, Donald Harrison band.
All
those bands were just as important to me because I knew there was a possibility of actually working with those cats.
Correct.
So you know what I mean? So
of course, I felt the same. I felt exactly the same.
Right. I remember seeing you on Saturday Night Live with Wynton.
Yep.
The first time I met Wynton was probably just a couple of months after that. And my goal at that time was I want to come to New York and play with all of my heroes. Every musician that I hear on all these records that I look up to and admire, I want to be able to play bass with them. I want them to call me for gigs because they like what I do, And my goal has always been to really serve the music and to serve these great people that play this music. So getting to meet people like you and Wynton and Benny Green and Carl Allen and Donald Harrison and Terrence and Roy Hargrove and I we moved to town roughly around the same time.
Right.
It meant the world to me to be able to play with you cats. But then there was also your Freddie Hubbards. There were your Joe Hendersons. There were your McCoy Tyners, your Bobby Hutchinsons, your Betty Carters, your Abby Lincolns. And I said, and if I get to some of that, then I'll be,
Exactly.
And I realized in order to get to that, especially as a bassist, I think to be a human being in general is to just be open, is to take it all in and to be willing to give more than you take. So I guess that's always been my philosophy. Try to give more than I take.
Good for you, man. That's amazing. That's beautiful. Now, did you have with regards to this philosophy and some of these thoughts? I know your dad, who I've played with, happily. I've been doing gigs with your dad, which is too cool. Last few years down in Philly, man. Great player, great cat.
Yes, he is.
He's terrific. So was he your main kind of guidepost, or did you have him and others? You want to talk a little bit about just briefly who were some of the people that gave you and fueled some of this philosophy?
Yeah, initially it was my dad. My dad, Lee Smith, wonderful bassist and composer. He was my inspiration for playing the bass. But my inspiration to jazz was my great uncle. His name is Howard Cooper, who's also a bass player. And so my dad lit the flame for me to play the bass, but my great uncle Howard is the one that, he called me when he found out that I was playing acoustic bass in middle school. He got so excited. He said, "Come over to my house. I got something for you." So I was 11 years old, and he had a stack of records already picked out for me. And he was like, "This is Paul Chambers. This is Ray Brown. This is Charles Mingus. This is Charlie Hayden. This is Percy Heath. And he gave me like a crash course in the history of jazz bass in a few hours. And I think single-handedly because of that visit, I fell in love with jazz.
Wow. Wow. How about that? 11 years old.
11.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a great story. Why don't you play a little bit? Let's hear you play.
Sure.
Anything you want to play.
Now, you know, it's funny. I had originally planned on playing Alone Together.
Well, do it. Why not?
No. You sang it so beautifully. I was like, nah, I don't need to touch that. So I'm going to play a little something else.
Okay. Well, you know a tune or two, I'm quite sure.
Okay. You won't recognize it at first, but eventually I think you'll recognize it.
All right, let's check it out.
A little sloppy, but I tried to use all my heart. Hey, you're muted. Hey, you're muted, Brother Don. There we go.
Sorry, that was my fault. Sorry, that was my fault.
Yeah, man. He said he knew what I was going to say. He was going to say, in response to it, said, "Yeah, man, I was just thinking how sloppy that was. Yeah, man, that's what I was about." He didn't want me to say that, so he kept me muted. Nah, man, that was killing. It was great. And I did not recognize it at first. I was trying, but I couldn't quite find it. I would have. You played a few more courses. I would have got it. I'm sure. No, man, it sounded great.
Thank you, Brother Don.
As the last time we played together at the thing at Cecil's, we haven't played together since then. Oh man, that's ridiculous. We hung out a little bit. We have not. Okay, so we got to fix that.
Yeah, we need to fix that quickly.
Yeah, we'll fix that quickly.
If I was closer to my roads over here, I would play a Wish List.
There you go. Oh, there you go.
Or Night.
Oh, Night. Oh, that's one of my hits there. Night is one of my hits, boy.
I think let's see.
There you go. There you go. You got it. You got it. Yeah, man. Check you out, man. Remembering my music at the how many that we recorded. That was from After Dark, which is 1993. You remember like that? Good memory, brother. But that was I wrote another one called The Edge of Night, which we gotta play that one together.
Ooh.
A follow up. Yeah, it's cool. Anyway, all right, this is not about my music. This is about you. So listen, we can get together on my music another time. We'll do that for sure.
Okay.
Talk about your teaching, because I know you do some work with Jazz House Kids, a wonderful organization led by your wife, Melissa. She's fantastic. I know they've done a ton of incredible work. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure, man. Melissa and I, back in 2003, when we first reconnected, Jazz House Kids had been in existence for 1 year, and she was really looking to start as time progressed, she really became more and more focused on the organization. And I would say by 2005 or 2006, all systems were go to really start to put our focus into the organization. As you well know, this has been an issue probably since the late 80s, maybe even before, I don't know. But all these public schools started getting rid of their music programs.
Of course.
And so even if you wanted to play music, you couldn't do it because your school had no program. So I always commend Melissa for actually saying that, okay, well, instead of complaining about it, let me do something about it. And I'm going to start an organization to feed that, to take care of these kids who want to play music but can't, And so over the last, 18 years now, we've been able to see, at this point, I don't know the count. I'm going to guess hundreds of thousands of kids from all over the state of New Jersey and beyond at this point. We've had some students internationally. And so I'm very proud of the organization.
That's great, man. I love it. I love it. Now, you doing anything else on your own teaching wise, or is your main thing the playing and then all the NPR hosting and the other stuff?
Yeah, I haven't been doing any, the last time I did any teaching per se on a steady basis was probably from 2000 to 2004. I ran the Brubeck Institute. At the University of the Pacific in Stockton, California. And then during the summer, I do Jazz Aspen. I've been doing the Jazz Aspen summer program since 2000. So it's been 20 years. And but mostly just playing and hosting and curating.
Yes, sir. Yeah, right. Because you do Newport for one thing.
Yes. Yeah.
One of your big gigs.
NJ Pack.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and for 4 years, I was doing jazz programming with the LA Philharmonic as well during the Hollywood Bowl and Walt Disney Concert Hall.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so that's pretty much been the main thing: curating and playing and hosting.
Man. Yep, love it. All right, my brother. I think it's a good time now to open it up to the students and let them ask questions. I see Colin is hopping up there. So whatever the mechanism for getting the kids to ask questions, Colin, go ahead and enact that. We'll get a few in for Christian.
Who's first?
Hi, my name is Margot Zell. I have a question. It's about your writing process. I'm curious to know how you write, or if there are any, special circumstances. Maybe there's a special soda you have to have with you, or a special place that you like to go. I don't know. Everyone has their quirks when they write, and I'm just curious to know yours.
Thank you, Margot. Very nice to meet you. I wish I had a good answer for my writing process. I've never considered myself a good writer. I consider myself a lucky writer. I wish I had. I wish I was as prolific as a lot of people who I've played with. It's very intimidating to be around people who write so well. Being around people like a Benny Green or Bobby Watson or Don Braden, or even playing in Chick Corea's trio for the last, 25 years or so, playing with Pat Metheny, being around Wayne Shorter. When I have to write tunes, I sit on the piano and I'm like, what am I doing? I don't need to be doing this, Now, I do have quite a number of songs in my catalog at this point, but I've always felt that personally, it's painful for me to write. It's a struggle to write because I find myself putting up a lot of mental blocks, and I've tried to coax myself into not doing that. I sit at the piano, and I think, oh man, this song is sad. Nobody's gonna like this. This is corny. I'm not getting to the melodic thing that I'm hearing things, but I can't get them out. And then one thing changed. Now, how's this for something pretty practical? I started writing more songs from the bass.
What a concept.
Imagine that. I actually start writing songs from the instrument that I actually play. Then the ideas started coming out. Like all these lines I was hearing, I was like, I wasted all these years trying to do all that on the piano. So when I write, I try to do more writing from the bass now. I mean, when I write for my big band, I still have to go to the piano, obviously. But when I write from the bass, I come up with songs like Shakin' Blake and Clee-Rose Flipped and In a Hurry. Songs that have my favorite lines in them are songs that I've written from the bass. So it really helped me to figure out about 20 years too late that I should write more songs from the instrument that I actually play.
Great. Great question.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Hey, my name's Hunter, and it's such an honor to be here with you right now. One question I had was, in the modern jazz world today, how do you really keep your own identity whilst also staying on top of the modern scene and the modern musical concepts? How do you really keep your own voice but play with anyone who wants to play with you?
Thank you for your question. First of all, I never thought that playing with a lot of I never thought my own individuality was in jeopardy by playing with a lot of other people. Like I said, my goal is to give. My goal is not to get in somebody else's band and to prove myself an individual. My goal is to play the bass part that needs to be played. My individuality comes second, and really the truth is you already are an individual. You just have to embrace it. Being an individual doesn't mean you have to be something consciously different, right? You already are different. As long as you know that and embrace that, you can blend in and do the job that needs to be done, you know. That's much more important for me than sort of consciously focusing on my individuality, you know. My individuality is in giving to the band, you know.
Oh, yeah.
There's this whole concept in jazz of the genius, and the genius is someone that doesn't necessarily give in to what the band demands. It's sort of like the weirder you are, the more individualistic you are. Therefore, this person must be a genius. It's like I give you a piece of music and you look at it and go, oh, I'm not doing that. I'm going to do something different. And then there's always someone out there to go, oh, he's an individual. Oh, yeah, that's great, man. You know, meanwhile, that person's not working, being an individual genius, right? I'd rather be a dumb person working 365 days out of the year. You know, I'd rather be, you know, I'd rather be the conformist turning down more gigs than losing them.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you for that.
All right. Who's next?
My name's Dante. Yeah, extremely honored to be here today. But I just wanted to ask about, like the writing process, I guess, going from the bass to the big band, like orchestrating some ideas to like all the parts of a big band, I guess.
Yeah, thank you for your question. I got to tell you something, man. You know what's weird for me? It's hard to write for like my quintet or for my, especially for my trio. Any small group has always been a challenge for me, but strangely enough, you give me my big band, ideas start, like my brain starts exploding with ideas. I'm not sure why that is. You know, you give me one trumpet and one saxophone, I'm like, I don't know what to do, you know? Wow. But you give me 4 trumpets, 4 trombones, and 5 saxophones, I'm like, gimme, you know? So I think maybe it's because if I actually did any sort of study in the traditional sense of like actually reading books and sitting down and like finding things out, it was about big band writing and orchestrating. I sat down a lot with my other big brother, the great John Clayton, Maria Schneider, the late great Jimmy Heath, Benny Golson, Quincy Jones. I mean, anybody who's written for big band, I've tried to pick their brain as much as I possibly could. So with that, writing for my big band is not nearly as painful as it is for other groups.
Okay. Very interesting. Real quickly, do you use Finale or Sibelius or
Sibelius? Yeah,
Sibelius. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Who's next?
I can go.
Use this other mic a little in the camera.
Which one?
No, one right in the middle.
Can you just?
Yeah.
What? Okay.
Yours, take it off.
Kneel into the.
What's important is if I'm audible, right?
I got your audible.
Okay, cool. Wow. I hope I can articulate this correctly, but something that's.
Your name? Your name first?
Oh, sorry. I'm Zach. I play bass. I want to say that kind of destroyed my ego, what you just did. That was crazy. That was, yeah, great. Oh my gosh. Anyway, my question, something that's kind of becoming important to me is headspace. And being in kind of a...
You mean the app? No, I'm just joking.
No, like psychology. And sort of, I find that some days I'll like have to play music, but I'm tired or I'm just not in a good mood, and it gets in the way of like being focused and being like happy with what I'm doing. And I notice with like all great musicians, they always seem to be kind of nailing that, you know, and I feel like it's kind of something I want to get more control. And I just kind of want advice for how to get into a better like performance headspace where you can play with like clarity, but also creatively and all that, you know?
I think for me, playing actually does clear my head. I don't think I've ever been in a space where I have my instrument in my hand and I don't instantaneously become happy. There've been plenty of days where, you know, I'm not in a good mood. I'm not always happy. I'm not always in the mood to play. But once I start playing, somehow that makes it all better. So I would hope that with your instrument in your hand, that you should allow that to transport you to a place that gets you out of that funk. You know what I mean? Because like again, I think what you asked is somewhat related. That's like a cousin question to my man's question about individuality. Like you asked about trying to play with, you know, clarity and headspace. Sort of like individuality, like just don't think about that. Just get your instrument in your head and go with the sounds, go with the feel. If you don't have any other conscious thought, I mean, other than playing the changes, you should just really let that music take you to that great place. That's why you play music, I assume, because it makes you feel good. You get something out of music that you can't get somewhere else, you know. So just do your best to let your mind unlock once you get your instrument in your hand.
That's great. And I'm the same. As soon as I touch my horn, even if I don't want to deal with it, as soon as I touch it, it's
right.
What was I waiting for?
Right.
You know? So that reed is so blah blah blah. And I put it on. It's like, oh, what? Smack.
That's right. That's right.
Who's next? Huck, you got a question, my man? I can't. You can't think of anything?
You know, let me chime in.
Oh, come on, Mr. Drummer.
Hey, Christian. Hey, how you doing? Andre Hayward.
Man, what's up, dude?
Hey, good to see you, man.
It's good to see you, man.
Yeah, let me just take the seat here. Oh man, I'm so elated that you're here with us, and this great workshop, great Q&A session here. Just wanted to let you know that the kids did pay tribute to you, and played
I heard it.
and played Shade of a Cedar Tree.
I heard it, and thank you very, very, very much. I am absolutely honored.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So I'm just curious if you had any feedback for the students on that, and you know what your thoughts were.
Listen to everything Mr. Hayward tells you.
Good start.
That's my advice. You know what I mean? You got a great leader there, and Mr. Braden, everyone who has been around you, Mr. Coryell, Mr. Stryker, all these cats are just they're wonderful teachers. You know. And Don, I heard what you said earlier when you and Dave were talking about how every person we played with was a great teacher, not necessarily in the traditional, you know, classroom way, but I mean the lessons that we learned from people like Freddie and Betty Carter and Tony Williams. It's our job to, you know, pass that on to you. I mean, it's kind of hard to do it when you're not on the job because all of that was on the job training, you know.
Right.
So it's you know, if we get to spend time with you like this on a Zoom chat or in the classroom, I really hope you soak up every single piece of information you possibly can. Because if I could have sat in a classroom on a daily basis with you know, somebody like a Max Roach or a Dr. Billy Taylor, you know, that's, oh my goodness, that would have been like the greatest thing in the world. So I would say like all these opportunities that you get to be around people like Andre and Don and all these people, really take advantage of that. Get as much information from them as you can. And obviously, you know, stuff you already know, do as much listening as you possibly can. I also heard what you and Dave said, Don, about doing much deeper listening to fewer things.
Right.
And see, that's one of the reasons why I have all of these records behind me.
Right.
See, one thing that's great about listening to records is that just because of the work it takes to play a record, you have to concentrate on it. You know,
that's true.
You can't listen to like 5 seconds and be like, oh, I don't like the head. Let me fast forward to the next solo.
Right.
You got to listen to it, you know.
Right.
And so therefore, I think what you learn, you really learn deeply, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, find something that really gets to you and like make sure you go deep in it, you know.
Love it.
That's right.
Well, I got a question as well.
Who is Colin? That's Colin,
That's
right?
me right here.
What's up, man?
Hey, Christian. My name's Colin. Monk's Jazz is my little pop-up jazz thing here in Austin. We're very happy to have you along with us.
I haven't been to Austin in so many years, man. I remember playing Antone's in like 1998.
Yep.
And we got to the club and they said, "What? You need a piano?"
That's great. That's great. Well, you know, I'm a piano player as well. I played upright bass for about 10 years, double bass, excuse me. I played some drums. I actually got into jazz through drums, so I've been doing rhythm section stuff kind of my whole life, but really focusing back on piano and being a piano nerd and checking out Mel Dow's catalog. You know, I think it was probably 1995 or something. You guys had so many of those festival you know, bootleg YouTube videos from all the great European festivals and everything. But one of my favorite takes of all time is the Deserving Mini, that one with Joshua Redman and Blade, and you're playing bass, and Meldau on piano, and somehow it's like on Drummer World magazine, and the bass is the hottest thing in the mix. And I've listened to that thing so many times. I don't know if you've heard that, but you know, I've listened to it so many times, and I just think about seeing some of those videos.
Watch it.
Oh, please do. The Deserving Mini. That's the one.
Yeah, but if you say the bass is the hottest instrument, I know I'm not watching it now.
Oh, no. It should, as it should be. You're killing it, man. You're on it. My question is, you know, I mean, of course, it's COVID-19. It's 2020. Everything's crazy. But, you know, at that time, I don't know how old you were, but, you know, we've got a lot of young artists here in this room. And I'm just wondering, you know, if you have any reflections on sort of the process of playing and getting into your stuff, and then all of a sudden being on the tour with Meldau and Joshua Redman and Blade and playing all those amazing places. I mean, it just seems like such an inspiring and amazing feat. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Well, it's important to remember that by the time I started playing with Joshua Redman, Brad Meldau, and Brian Blade, I had already been on the road with Freddie Hubbard, Don Braden, Benny Green, and Carl Allen. And I had also been on the road with McCoy Tyner a couple of times. So playing with Joshua Redman and Brad Meldau and Brian Blade was like, when am I going to return back to my status playing with the elite cats?
That's so wild.
That's the irony.
I was like, these cats are cool, but I mean, like, when are we playing with Freddie again? You know, but I mean, that obviously changed. You know, because Joshua Redman, Brad Meldau, and Brian Blade are not only three of the greatest musicians in the entire world on any instrument, but they're also three of my closest friends in the world still. And, you know, I go back and think about what we had going on. You know, that band was only together for a year. I think maybe less than a year, actually.
Right.
But in that year, we really covered a lot of ground. So
wow.
It was sometimes you don't know how special things are until they're long gone. You know what I mean? Fortunately, we were able to get together just last year. And of course, earlier this year, we released our reunion CD. Excuse me. That's so late 20th century CD.
Right.
Our album, you know, called Back Round Again. And hopefully, if things go as planned, our reunion tour, which was scheduled for this year, it'll be back on again next year.
Can't wait to see that. That's going to be great.
Cool, man. That's great. That's great. Any other questions from the young folks or from anybody else? Richard, do you want to have a question, or Colin, any more questions?
You know, I want to give Huck a chance. He's being shy. Come on up here, Huck. I know you got one question.
Yeah, come on, man. Get a drummer song.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Roger that. Good job, Andre.
All right.
Although I know you drummers, you're gonna take some whether you're asked or not.
I just want to say it's such an honor to be speaking with you. But my question is, do you have any tips for like members of the rhythm section, like connecting with each other and looking at each other and stuff?
You nailed it. Listen and look. You know, especially the looking part. You know, I saw Peter Erskine give a master class one time, and it was the funniest thing in the world because I had never thought about this. He said, why is it that a lot of younger drummers, they do this thing now where like they're like all drummers, it was funny. He was like, all drummers before like 1990 used to look at the band when they played. Like after 1990, all these drummers they look left and down. They're looking like at their hi-hat foot, you know, like they're in the music and they're looking down here. And, you know, he was like, what is that? And then I was like, where's he? And I started thinking like, he's kind of right.
You're right. Wow. I'm thinking back. It's like, yeah, I've seen that more than once. Wow.
Yeah, he was like, how come these cats don't look at the band? He was like, you realize how much tighter the band can be if you just simply look at each other? You know, something as simple as that. And he's right. You know, so I'm glad you recognize that. As long as you guys are looking at each other, you can see each other and obviously listen. You know, it's a give and take. Obviously, when you're in the early stages of your development, you're going to make a lot of mistakes, but mistakes are necessary because that's how you learn. You know, you're going to step on toes every now and then, but once you step on toes, you realize, oh, I won't do that again. You know what I mean? So, you know, experiment with stuff. Make as many mistakes as you can, especially while you're in your safe zone, because you know, once you get on a gig with somebody, it might not be as nice of a result.
Put it mildly.
But even then, it's going to be, you know,
positive ultimately. Yeah.
Exactly, that's right. None of us have ever been in a situation where we weren't in an uncomfortable situation where, you know, our egos got punctured. It happened to all of us, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
Nice.
I was telling somebody was asking me about Betty Carter not that long ago, and actually there was a panel on Betty Carter. We did one at Jazz Lincoln Center just in January.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
I was
like
there.
it was funny. Like after that panel was over, somebody came up and was like, "So in other words, Betty Carter was just mean."
That would be an oversimplification.
Oversimplification. That's right.
Yeah, for sure. But she could. What those of us who worked with her would say she could be mean.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. You definitely have to develop a thick skin. That's certainly a part of it. If you get to the point where you're in with some cats,
that's right.
And we're all still learning, so mistakes will happen. And it just depends on who it is, but you have to be able to withstand that the result of any mistakes, and ultimately learn from it because they're going to keep happening. You know,
that's
less
right.
and less, presumably, as you grow up. You know,
yep.
Or at least less big mistakes. Anyway, we've all made them.
Are you guys in high school or college?
High school. Oh,
I'm in high school.
2 in high school and 3 in college, I believe. Right?
Oh, beautiful.
Yes, 3 in college, 2 in high school.
Nice.
Yeah. Us two, we're in high school, and everyone else in college.
Nice. The young boys.
Yes, so Hunter and Zach go to Eastman School of Music. They're freshmen and sophomores. And I go to University of Southern California. I'm in Thornton. They're jazz voice. So.
Oh, beautiful. So you know my friend, you're in close proximity to the great Patrice Rushen.
Yes, this is true.
That's cool.
You better lean on her. That's a bad lady.
I plan on it. I want to see that her piano that she has. I can't remember the details, but everyone talks about it, so I have to see it with my own eyes.
and Eastman. That's a great school too. Maria Schneider, Ron Carter, Pee Wee Ellis.
Wow, how about that?
All kinds of bad cats out of Eastman. I think Joe Locke went to Eastman.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Wow. Another great musician.
Yep. Renee Fleming.
Wow. Love it. Well, man, Christian, brother, it's great to have you here
Braden,
to share.
I love you, man. I miss you.
I love you too. Love you, miss you too, man. We just gotta, we will connect soon for sure because we're just this energy. The one thing about Zoom, it reminds you, we can't easily get together necessarily, but these Zoom chats, man, they really do reconnect us in a way. We all get busy in our stuff, and this brings us, we all got tons of stuff happening, but I'm really happy that you were able to do this and reconnect both you and I, of course.
Thank you for asking me.
Please, man, honor. And then to share with the young folks, you guys, I'm so proud of you guys. Huck, Margot, Dante, Zach, and Hunter, you guys are fantastic. And Andre, working with them, and then you guys just did a beautiful presentation. And
hey, Don, I'm gonna make you blush one more time.
Oh, okay. What you got this time, man?
Something just came to mind. I think this is from your first album.
Yes, sir.
Okay, wait a minute. I forgot it from there. I got
That's pretty good though, man. And that was 1991. That album was that's the first album. The Time Is Now.
Yep.
That was that album. We were still in Hub's band. We were still in the band at that point.
That's right. I actually have the rough. I got a cassette of the rough mixes in here somewhere.
Do you?
I don't know if it still plays, but I got
right,
it.
Of course. Yeah. It probably still plays because that's a pretty reasonably durable if it was a decent one to start with. Love it, man. Thank you, man. It's really funny, man. I always joke about, talking about yours and my history and how you will just play back a few of my tunes at me with that memory that you have and that skill, man.
Them songs were so good, it's hard to forget them.
Well, the love factor just in general. I mean, because, we're all kind of vessels and conduits for it. And we all tap into, the reason, part of it is that I'm such a big Wayne Shorter. You mentioned Wayne. I'm a big student of Wayne so much. I'm a big student of Herbie Hancock. I'm a student of these cats so much.
Right.
So that's, that's a part of the thing that kind of connects us when we explore our original material.
Right.
And it's, that adds to that connection, which I greatly appreciate when it's durable. That's great, man. But we'll. I got some some ideas for us to reconnect some more musically this coming year. So I'll get back to you about that. I would like you. We got a couple more seconds. Well, actually, we're quite over time, truth be told. But I still think if you have time to play something, I think we'd love to hear you play. Whatever.
Really?
Yeah, a little brief, whatever. Okay. Yeah, those something else out there.
Let me think of something.
That's cool. And then in the meantime, while you're getting ready, I will go ahead and do the promotional. Let me read the promotionals, do a little business here. First off, I want to read just thank the sponsors one more time. This project is funded by the Austin Jazz Society and the New School of Music, Austin, and in part by the Cultural Arts Division of the City of Austin Economic Development Department. Donations collected from the streaming event will be used for future Austin Jazz Society, Jazz Education scholarships and/or programs. Donations collected from the streaming event will be used for future Austin Jazz Society Jazz Education scholarships and/or programs. There we go. Got the sentence right. I also want to thank Antigua Saxophones, who gives me great saxophones, and Jody Jazz Mouthpieces, who gives me great jazz mouthpieces. So I think I really want to acknowledge them because the instruments are fantastic. From Antigua and the mouthpieces from Jody Jazz. I would also like to acknowledge the New School of Music, Texas Jazz and Blues Camp. I'll read a little blurb about that, but basically it's an awesome place. That's the upshot. But let me read the blurb because it's actually a really nice blurb. The New School of Music offers year-round private lessons and combo classes in the Austin area, as well as Zoom lessons. Our teachers include world-class performers and educators such as myself. You know who I am. Andre Hayward, Tom Brickline, Murali Coryell, Ernie Durawa, Chris McQueen, Peggy Stern, Utah Hamrick, Adrian Ruiz, Kaz Kasanoff, Dave Lee, Chris Alcaraz, and many others. To see the video interviews that I've done interviews with 16 of our faculty members or 15 of our faculty members. You can email us at enroll@newschoolofmusic.net. Eventually, we'll post those interviews once I get them edited. So, New School of Music's Zoom lessons are a great opportunity for students to study privately with myself or our Texas Jazz and Blues Camp faculty members. We also provide a free recording of our Zoom lessons to our students. So if you'd like to get one of our lessons with one of our faculty members at the New School of Music, you can check out newschoolofmusic.net and email enroll@newschoolofmusic.net, newschoolofmusic.net. Okay. Yeah. So we do a lot at Texas Jazz and Blues Camp and at New School of Music. And as you can see with this event, it's been a tremendous adventure with the students, working with Andre Hayward, doing such a beautiful performance with the wonderful Dave Stryker, with awesome Murali Coryell, and then my great friend and just stellar musician, Christian McBride. He's going to go out with something. Probably, we'll see if we can see if we can get him to swing a little bit. I don't know, though. He'd be... Yeah, man, that's great. Tell me the name of that tune again. I couldn't remember the name of that one.
Frankie and Johnny.
Frankie and Johnny, of course. Exactly. Love it. Love it.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, man. Great to see you. Great to hear you. Anything else you'd like to share about, anything you got coming up next year, a new album, a new project, or anything you want to share with us?
Oh, what's coming up in 2021? Like I said, hopefully this the Joshua Redmond Quartet reunion tour will happen.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, love that.
And I've been working with the great bassist Edgar Meyer on we've been working on a duet recording for the last couple of years, and the pandemic shut it down. We were like 2 songs away from finishing this project. So hopefully we'll get that done ASAP, and that can be released sometime in 2021.
Great.
Other than that, playing it by ear.
Yeah, of course, like we all are.
Yep.
Yeah, man, congratulations on that second big band record, man. They both sound
great. Thank you, man.
Just killing stuff. So
thank you.
Yep. Well, all good things, I guess, must wrap up for the moment. But this is not goodbye. This is see you in a minute, especially for us. But I hope that we can get you involved again, pull you into some other communication and sharing with the students. It'd be fantastic. We appreciate that possibility, that option.
My honor, brother.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, then we will call it a night. Thank you very much again. Big round of applause, everybody, for Christian. Yeah, brother.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So be well, rest well. Tell Melissa I said hello.
I sure will. I think she's watching. At least she was a minute ago.
Okay, good.
She might be calling hogs by now.
Exactly. Yep, exactly right. Sounds good. We'll just give her our best always. Colin, thanks again for everything.
Thanks, Colin.
Nice to meet you, Colin.
Good to meet you too, man.
And once again, Student Ensemble, Andre, you guys keep swinging. Thank you for everything. Fantastic.
Thank you, Don. Thank you, Christian.
And Richard Spencer, you see his window there. Christian, he's basically the president of the New School of Music, and he goes out and hustles all this stuff, man. Here he is.
How you doing, Richard?
Okay, thank you so much for joining us on this. That was incredible.
It was my
executive director. He's, he runs the whole thing, man. He goes out and really hustles, money and facilities and whatever it takes to get these educational initiatives going. He's really a trooper, and I really have a lot of respect for him, and appreciation for what he does. Thank you so much, Richard, and again, thanks for making all this happen.
And thanks to the Austin Jazz Society again. Tom Van Tassel actually had a video clip we were going to play, but it didn't work out. But this youth jazz education directive is something he's had for a long time. That's actually the mission of our nonprofit. So it's a wonderful match. We're going to do more of these things, and we really appreciate everything you guys did. That was incredible. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much, and thanks. Yeah, give our thanks to Tom. Hopefully, he's watching wherever he is. Tom Van Tassel and the Austin Jazz Society. Bravo, bravissimo. All right, everyone. Rest well. Much love to everyone. Be safe, be strong, and take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you in a minute.
Thank you so much, Don. This was great. I just want to take a chance to say to everyone, thank you so much to everyone who donated. Of course, everything's tax deductible, but go to the paypal.me/Austin Jazz Society or austinjazzsociety.org. Thank you to Joanie Arrot, Linda Ball, Dianne Donovan, Patrick Francis, Kevin Hart, Robert Linder, Jody Slagle, Fung Shui Transformations, Tom and Barbara Van Tassel, Allan Williams, Beth Williams, Art Klempner, New School of Music, and of course the Austin Jazz Society for sponsoring and keeping these kind of concerts going tonight. Please go to their website if you'd like to be mentioned next week for the Ryan Hagler Quartet on January 5th, 2021. Here we are. Thank you so much for hosting, Don. This was beautiful, and thank you all for tuning in, and have a wonderful night. Thank you, Don.
Will do. Thanks again, Colin. Thanks, Monks Jazz. See you next time. Good night, guys.
All right, cats.
All right, cats. Thanks, Christian.